Good morning. My name is Kimberly Whittington. I'm a former personal trainer, now working with Achieve Tahoe. Today we're going to be doing 2 circuits as we usually do. First circuit is all standing. Second circuit is all on the mat. We will do 2 rounds of each circuit. So full body workout today. We're going to start with a warm up. And I'm going to move my screen just a little bit so you guys can see me. There we go. So everything in our workout today will be timed. We're going to start with a little bit more aerobic exercises to get warmed up, to get our heart rate pumping, and then we're going to slow our workout down just a little bit, and we're going to do some heavier exercises today. So what we're going to start with is either jumping jacks or high knees. So here we're going to start for 45 seconds. If those exercises don't work for you, if the other exercises don't work for you, I encourage you to change the exercises to fit your ability level. So we're going to start here, 45 seconds, jumping jacks, high knees, get that heart rate up. If jumping doesn't work for you, you can always just move your arms, bounce. I also always tell people that they can dance. So if jumping jacks are not your thing and you just want to dance, just go ahead, just make sure it's you're moving as much as you can. Ten seconds. Three, two, one. Okay, so now I'm going to stand with my feet right underneath my hips. I'm going to reach for my toes, and when I come up, I'm going to jump into the air. So reach for the toes, jump. So I call this a half burpee because we're not coming all the way back into the plank. We eliminated the push-up. So everything in our warm-up is 45 seconds. And we're going to go right from one to the next. Few more. So try to fold all the way forward, lengthen through the hamstrings, jump, get those feet off the floor. 3 more. Floor, ceiling, jump. 1, 2, 3, and twist. So really try to look over your shoulder, twist the core, warm up the core. If I pivot on my toes, that's up to you. You can keep your feet planted if you'd like. I just feel that the stretch is a little bit better when I pivot on my toes, lift my heels. We're going to go right into butt kickers. 3, 2, 1. So here you can either alternate or you can jog. Try to get your heel all the way to your butt. We're about halfway. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're gonna bring our feet pretty far apart. Hands come up into the air. I'm gonna opposite hand to opposite toe. I call this the starfish stretch. So alternating opposite hand to opposite toe. You should feel a pretty good stretch in your inner thigh. Obviously, if you can't reach your toe because you're not 5'2" like me, Reach for your shin. So keep moving here. We're going to start that circuit all over again in about 15 seconds. So again, really trying to get our heart rate up right now because we're going to slow down in our first round of exercises. 3, 2, and 1. Going back to the beginning, jumping jacks, 45 seconds. Definitely breathing heavy. It also feels like it's very hot in my office. Again. So try to keep moving. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet together or right underneath your hips. Reach for the floor. Jump. So this one is not necessarily about how fast you can go. I want you to use it as a stretch as well. So fold over your knees, lengthen through your hamstrings and your glutes. Try to get your feet a little bit off the floor. You don't have to jump super high. Sorry, 10 seconds to go. Three, 2, and 1. Windmill stretch. So look over your shoulder. Use your eyes to look behind you. Look at the wall behind you, and you'll get a better twist through your midsection. Goodness. 10 more seconds here. Two, 1. Starfish stretch. So hands come above the head, opposite hand to toe. So again here, trying to lengthen through the back side of the body. We do have some hamstring bridges in our second circuit. Oh, I'm sorry. Keep moving. Sorry about that. I'm actually waiting on some office furniture to be delivered today. That was not that. 3, 2, 1. Into butt kickers, last one. So if you didn't jog the first time, maybe try to speed it up a little bit. Team to go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so I hope everybody's warm. We are going to start our first circuit. Grab a drink of water if you need it. I do. So for our first exercise, you will need a weight or 2 weights, depending on how heavy you want to go. What we're going to do is a side lunge squat. So, a couple different names for this. So the exercise is going to look like this. I'm going to put my feet pretty far apart, and then I'm going to squat to one side. So you can do it with weight, without weight, with 2 weights. So I'm going to leave that up to you. So today for myself, I'm going to work on slowing down the exercises and going a little bit heavier. So I encourage you to follow along if you can. Obviously, if there's an exercise that doesn't fit your ability level, then you can switch it, change it, do crunches, whatever you want to do. So to start, we're going to do 45 seconds on our right leg, 45 seconds on our left leg. So I have 10s here. So I'm going to use both of my 10s because I want to go kind of heavy today. It snowed. I got to gear up for my ski season, right? So I'm going to squat, bringing my weight over my right foot and then coming back up. So I'm going to stay on that leg for 45. So feet apart, weight in your hand if you want it. We're going to start now. So it's not a super fast movement. What I want to make sure I'm doing is pushing my knee over my toe and not letting my knee splay out to the side. So if you're having difficulty here and you have weight, you can always drop your weight. Power through your quad, push all the way up and squeeze your glutes and your quads at the top. Try to keep your chest upright. Gaze should be forward, not at the floor. Almost there, 10 seconds. Let's try to do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, shake it out a little. Going to the other side. The same rules apply. Push the knee over the toe. Sit your butt back. Keep your chest up. Keep your gaze up. If you're holding weight, you want it to kind of stay pushed against your chest. And you are holding it with your arms in your hands, but you're not moving it around because we really want this to be a quad exercise. Almost there. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So 1 weight or 2 weight, kind of up to you. We're going to do an upright row. So I'm using 1 weight. I'm going to hold it here in the center. And then I'm going to bring my elbows as high as I can, bringing the weight above my chin, or sorry, below my chin, and then slowly lowering down. Okay. If you're using 2 weights, it's going to look like this. Weights pressed together, upright row, and down. Okay. So we're going to go for a minute, nice and slow, starting now. Weights together, elbows high. Your elbows should always be higher than the weight. So here, we're really using our traps to pull the weight up. Nice and slow down. So again, like I said earlier, these 2 circuits we're doing are going to be a little bit slower, but a little bit heavier if you're able. So we have about 15 seconds. Let's try 4 together. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. So you guys are gonna love this one. Skier squats. So usually we do skier squats without weight. I am gonna use a weight. I'm gonna use 1 10-pound weight. So with a skier squat, I want my feet together. They can be all the way touching, or you can have about an inch in between your shoes. Either way, it's gonna look like this. So I'm gonna bring the weight to my chest. I'm gonna sit down as if I'm skiing, right? And I'm gonna come all the way up. We're gonna do, let's actually do 45 seconds with 10 bounces at the bottom, okay? So we're gonna start 45 seconds now. So we're gonna come down into that skier squat, back up, keep your back flat, keep your chest up. And if it helps you to squeeze your knees together, great. If you wanna leave an inch between your knees, that's fine too. The idea is that we're mimicking coming down into that squat that we hold when we ski. If you're a snowboarder, this is good for you too. We're actually gonna go for a minute here. So keep your chest up, keep your gaze up. Let's do 3 more, and then we're gonna hold it at the bottom. So 3, 2, so hold it down and bounce for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Okay, so for the next one, we're gonna do a deltoid raise. So the deltoid is this muscle on the shoulder right here. So we're going to do a T and an I. So feet are together, stand up nice and tall, roll your shoulders back and down, chest is open. I'm gonna come out into a T, come together, move my weight, come up. So you're only coming up parallel to the floor. If you go higher, it's fine, it's not wrong. So we're gonna go for a minute, starting now. So coming out into that T, and then I said I. That's not really an I. An I would be straight above your head, but you guys get it. So nice and controlled. Try not to swing the weight here. Slowly lower the weight back to your hips. About 15 seconds to go. Let's do 2 more each way. So T, I. Last one, T, I. Great. So if you, so for the next exercise, we've not actually done this one before, but you're gonna need a wall. So we're gonna do wall sits with a bicep curl. So we're gonna stay here for about a minute. I'm gonna give you a couple different variations for what that's gonna look like. So I'm going to bring my back all the way up against the wall, walk my feet forward slightly, come down into a squat. My knees should not be over my toes here. So like I'm sitting in a chair, and then I'm going to curl the weight. If this is too much, drop the weight and focus on the wall sit. You can either put your weight on your thighs, put it on the floor, whatever works for you. Either way, we're going to do it for 1 minute, which is quite a while, but I think everybody here can do it real pretty strong. So we're going to start now. So walk those feet forward, come down into your wall sit, push your hips up against the wall. And if you are curling, you're going to let the weight hang by your side, curl up toward your shoulders, back down. So try to lower the weight slowly so you're not slamming your weight into the wall. So again, your gaze should be forward, looking out, not at the floor. Think about pressing your shoulder blades into the wall, your hips into the wall, grounding yourself through your heels. We're really close. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, first round done. We have about 1.5 minutes here. Grab a drink of water, stretch if you need it. Grab different weights if you need different weights. So I'm breathing pretty hard because even though these exercises aren't super aerobic, I'm using heavier weight, so I'm challenging myself a little bit more. So if in the first round you weren't breathing hard or you felt like the exercise was too easy, don't be afraid to pick up a little bit more weight. You know, you obviously don't have to use weight, but I do feel like weight training is really, really good for our body. It helps us build lean muscle mass, which helps us lose weight if that's a goal, build bone density. So as much as I think a lot of people are afraid to use weights, using the appropriate amount of weight is really good for you. So, you know, I'm not over here trying to curl 50s, you know, I only have 10s, but still that's really good for us to build that lean muscle mass. So I encourage you to try if you're not using weights. Okay, so we're going to start back at the beginning with our side lunges. So we're going to go to the right first and then to the left, 45 seconds on each leg. So if you are using weight, remember we're holding the weight in our chest. So we're not moving the weight. The weight should stay here. And when you push it up against your chest, it's a little bit easier to hold for that 45 seconds. So feet are apart. If it helps for you to have your toe pointed out slightly, that's fine. We just want to make sure that our knee's tracking over our toe, okay? So we're going to start here. So sit your hips back like you're going to sit into a chair. Not super fast. Nice. Keep your chest up, gaze up. Two more. 2 and 1. Whew. All right, other side. So weights on the chest. If you have weight, go. So same thing. Push those hips back. Knee tracks over toe. So for this one, I always tell people, if you can't get your quad parallel to the floor when you come down into your squat, that's fine. Maybe this is enough for you. You're still working that quad muscle. So make the exercise work for your body type. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Great. Okay. Going right into our upright row. So whether you're using just one weight or 2 weights, our palms are facing down, weight is together, or hands are together. Row, high elbows. So 1 minute here. Make sure that you're standing up nice and tall. Your chest is open. Try not to fold forward, or you're not going to feel this in your traps, which is like above your shoulders or below your neck. So it's right here. Whenever I talk about the traps, I always think about those big, bulky people you see at the gym, and they have really big bumps on their neck. This is not going to do that to you, but that's the muscle I'm talking about. So really drive those elbows toward the ceiling. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Weighted skier squats. I'm going to drop one of my weights. If you want to hold both of your weights, that's fine. So remember, feet are together. Knees are pretty close together. If you have weight, we're going to hold our weight on our chest. We're lifting it with our legs, not our arms. We're going for 1 minute here. So like we're sitting down in a chair. If you can get your quads parallel to the floor here, great. If you can't, mini squats are great too. Whenever we're skiing, we're not holding a full squat. But what we are doing with this exercise is building those muscles to help us be stronger when we do ski. Hopefully with our 2 feet coming, everyone here in Tahoe will be skiing next week or this week. Gaze stays up, chest stays up. Like you're sitting in a chair. Let's do 3 more. And then we're going to hold at the bottom. 3, 2, 1, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. All right. A little more to go in this circuit. So now we're going to go into our T's and I's, deltoid raise. So stand up nice and tall, roll your shoulders back and down. The weight comes together in the front and out into a T and an I. So we're going to go for 1 minute. Go ahead and begin if you have not already. This one is not easy. And the weight I have is pretty heavy for this exercise. Keep going a little over halfway. Four, three, two, and one. Oh man. All right. Last one. So we have wall sits. So with weight or without weight, we're going for 1 minute here. So I'm going to walk my feet forward, press my butt and my shoulder blades against the wall. I'll let everybody get there. And then I'm going to slide down, bending my knees, bringing my quads parallel to the floor if you can. We're going to hold this for 1 minute. If you have weights, you're going to curl your weights, slowly lower them. So if wall sits don't work for you, you can always just do bicep curls, or you can drop the weight and just do a wall sit. So don't be afraid to push yourself on this last one. We are going to move to the mat after this. So feel your quads burn. It's good for you. We're building muscle mass here, getting stronger. We only have 15 seconds to go. Five, four, three, two, and one. Whew. All right. Stretch out your quads a little bit. Maybe do some butt kickers. We have another 1.5 minute break before we move to the floor. Catch breath, grab some water. I'm gonna move my mat back so you guys can see me a little bit better. And for our second circuit, we will need one weight. You can just keep it next to your mat for when you're ready for it. And whenever you're ready, you can come down to the floor. So we have about another 30 seconds before we get started. We are going to start with hamstring bridges. So we're going to come all the way down to our back. Okay, so all the way down on your back, what I want is to pull my heels in close to my butt. And then from here, I'm going to push my palms into the floor and lift my hips. So this is the first variation. The second variation, if you want to challenge yourself today a little bit more, as you have been doing, we're going to lift one leg into the air, and we're going to lift our butt off the floor with just one leg. So I'm going to push my heel toward the ceiling, slowly lower. So I'm going to break this up into 30 seconds in case you do want to challenge yourself by doing a single leg bridge. If not, you're going to keep both feet on the floor, hands pressed into the floor. So we are going to start here in 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to do single leg. So I'm going to push my hips toward the ceiling, ground myself through my shoulder blades. So when I come down, I'm barely tapping my bottom to the floor. So I'm not letting my butt rest. So I'm keeping my butt off the floor the whole time. Think about kicking your heel up toward the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. So if you're doing single leg, we're going to switch. Same thing. So it really does help here to think about kicking your heel toward the ceiling, pulling your toe toward your face. Ooh, definitely feel this in my glutes, my hamstrings. 3, 2, and 1. All right. So we're going to go right into bicycle crunches. So I think most of you guys know what that is, but I'm going to demonstrate a couple different variations. Hands come behind your head. First variation, elbow to knee, alternating. Second variation, knees up, rocking back and forth on your shoulder blades. If you have low back pain, this is probably where you want to start. We are going to go for a minute, starting now. So really try to twist, engage your obliques, and get that elbow as close as you can to your knee. Again, kicking your heel out, pulling your toe towards your body, and that will help you engage your lower abdominals. "15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, staying where you're at. Now I'm going to bring my ankles over my hips, and I'm going to bring my hands up, reaching for the ceiling. And all I'm going to do here is reach for my toes and bring my shoulder blades off the floor. Okay, so it's just a crunch. We're not sitting all the way up. We couldn't do that. So from here, for 1 minute, we're going to reach for our toes. Even if you can't touch your toes, that's fine. Try to go slow and move with purpose, starting now. So again, like I said earlier, if you're as short as I am, you're probably going to have a little bit easier time reaching for your toes. But if you're taller, your legs are going to be longer. And so you might be better off reaching for a certain spot on your shin that's going to challenge your abdominals. Really focus on getting your shoulder blades up off the floor. So it's a really small movement, but you should start to feel it, especially in your upper abdominals. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Okay, so last, we're really going to tire out our midsection here. So this is when you're going to need your weight. You're going to grab your weight, and then you're going to make your way back down onto your back. So last week we weighted our toes and we did full sit-ups. Today we're just going to use the weight in our hand just like this. So I'm going to hold the weight over my chest, pull my heels in toward my butt, push my knees together, and crunch the weight over your knees. Okay, so after the last few exercises, you should really feel your abdominals at this point. So we are going to go for a minute, nice and slow, starting now. So really use the momentum of the weight coming forward to press the weight as high as you can above your knees. Also think about, you might be coming up kind of fast, but use the negative when you come back down to slowly roll down onto the mat. We have about 10 seconds. We'll do 3 together. 3, 2, and 1. Oh. All right. So for our last exercise in this circuit, we're going to do a side plank. So I'm going to, again, give you a few different variations. On the side plank, we're going to do 30 minutes, not 30 minutes, that would be incredible. 30 seconds on each side. So the first variation is here. What I want is my elbow to be directly under my shoulder. So if you're having a hard time balancing or staying up for the 30 seconds, you might want to start here. So the bottom leg is bent, the top leg is straight. What I'm going to do is come up onto my knee and balance here 30 seconds, really squeezing our obliques here. If you don't have a problem with balance and you think you can do the 30 seconds, we're going to stack our feet. We're going to come up, and if you can, we're going to drop our hip to the floor, press our hip to the ceiling, okay? So we're going to do 30 seconds, not 30 minutes on each side, and then we'll start our circuit again. Alrighty, so getting into position, elbows on the mat. I'm going to stack my feet. You do you. And we're going to come up for 30 seconds starting now. So coming up, you can either hold it here. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can drop your hip toward the floor and press your hip toward the ceiling. So here, you're going to really feel it in your obliques. If it starts to get too hard, you can just stay in plank. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, switching to the other side. This side will feel easier because the other side's tired. So 30 seconds, coming up in 3, 2, 1. So here, side plank, either staying or you can drop your hips, push them toward the ceiling. You might also fall over. 3, 2, 1. All right. We have 90 seconds here. A minute and a half sounds longer. Take the time that you need. And we're going to do all of those again. So I'm going to go a little bit faster this time because I'm running out of time. Surprise. I tend to take too long, maybe. Okay, so I'm going to make sure everybody gets into their position for the first exercise. So we're going to start with our hamstring bridges, bicycle crunches, legs up, toe touch, weighted crunches, and side plank. So we're going to come down onto our back. Make sure your weight is nearby. You will need it. Starting with our hamstring bridges. So either both feet on the floor or 1 foot in the air. We are going to start 30 seconds and go. So really press those hips toward the ceiling. Try to keep your butt up off the floor, only tapping at the bottom, not resting. Three, two, one. If you're using one leg, switch it out. If you're not, continue. So kick the heel toward the ceiling. Pull your toe towards your face. Ground through the shoulder blades. Three, two, and one. So not a lot of transition time here. Bicycle crunches, either knee up or one leg straight, hands behind the head. We're gonna go. Really reach your elbow toward your knee. If you can touch, perfect. A little over halfway. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. I hope our abs are sore after this. If they're not, you need to do more, or I do. Okay, hands are up, legs are up. So ankles right over our hips. 1 minute here, reaching for our toes. Go. Or maybe you just reach for your shoelaces, reach for your ankles. Nice and slow. Really try to get your shoulder blades up off the floor. You're going to feel it a whole lot more in your upper abdominals. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, feet are flat on the floor. Grab your weight. So here, we're crunching, pressing the weight over our knees. So bring your feet together, knees together. 1 minute starting now. So press the weight up over your knees. Slowly roll yourself back down to the mat. A little over halfway. Let's do 3 together. So 3, 2, and 1. All right, drop that weight. Make your way up onto your elbow. So last exercise for today, side plank, 30 seconds on each side. All right, so shoulders over elbow, stack your feet or ground yourself through that bottom knee and come up into your side plank. Starting now. So if you want to dip your hips to the floor and toward the ceiling, great. My shoulders are quite sore, so I'm going to hold it here in side plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch to the other side. And go ahead and come up now. So here, think about if you are in a regular side plank, stacking your shoulders, stacking your hips, stacking your feet. So this might be pretty hard, and you can help yourself by holding yourself up slightly with your hand that's on the top, but really try not to fold forward. Try to keep those shoulders stacked. So we're almost there. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Full body workout complete for Monday. I am going to let you guys do some stretching on your own. I don't want to keep you too long, and it is 11 o'clock, but I am going to unmute everyone.